Right, imagine for a moment that you have a daughter, and unbeknownst to you, your local school district and its employees, acting under district policy, had begun to treat your daughter as a boy without your knowledge or consent at your daughter's request. And then, get this, they lied to you about doing so. Well, that's the nightmare that's facing a New York mother, Jennifer Vitsaki. She's fighting back and suing the district that actively hid from her vital information about her own daughter. Joining me now to unpack this is Vincent Wagner, Senior Counsel at Alliance Defending Freedom. They're representing the mother in this case. Vincent, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thanks so much for having me on, Tony. It's good to be here.
You know, I'd like to say that this is like an anomaly, but you know what? This is happening almost every week. So lay out for our viewers and listeners, how and when did your client situation begin?
Right. So the key point is parents have a fundamental right that's at stake to make the best decisions they can about their children's upbringing, education, and health care. The Skaneateles, New York School District violated Jennifer Vitsaki's right by hiding this crucial information about her middle school daughter from her. Jennifer was an involved mother. She knew what was going on at school, so she noticed when her daughter's attitude towards school changed. Depression, anxiety, refusal even to go to school some days. So Jennifer asked the people at school if they'd noticed anything that had changed during the school day that could be leading to this, and they consistently reassured her, no, we haven't noticed anything, nothing's new, that sort of thing. But this wasn't true. They were concealing from her that they had started treating her daughter as a boy, calling her a masculine name, using incorrect pronouns from her, without telling Jennifer or seeking her consent. And this was a woman who, as I said, she was involved. At one point, she even took a job as a school bus driver to make sure she knew what was going on at school to try to help her daughter succeed. And the school district left her out in the dark, unable to help her daughter at a time when her daughter really needed her mother's help. And that violated her parental rights.
I think people need to really understand what you're saying, Vincent. This was an engaged mother. She wanted to know what was going on with her daughter. In fact, she was having conversations with the school officials. So it wasn't like she was indifferent, didn't really care. She was there. She was involved. They intentionally hid this from her, and that is actually district policy. The teachers and the workers in the district are under obligation by the guidance of the district to do this.
That's right. And, you know, school districts around the country, they seek permission to give kids an aspirin while they're at school during the day, but they have policies like these that keep this critical information from parents. We know kids are going to do better when their parents are involved in these key decisions in their lives. I mean, it's just common sense that that would be the case, but the scientific evidence supports it, that kids do better when their parents help them through these sorts of difficult issues. Right. And schools have no business cutting parents out of them.
Vincent, the ringer for me is that the mother, continuing to be concerned about this, withdrew her child from the public school, went to a private school, and the daughter began to make improvements emotionally, physically, and this included her daughter no longer wanting to be identified as a male. I mean, this to me shows how these schools, in concert with this whole LGBTQ transgender agenda, are trying to lock these kids into a path and drive them down this pathway that would lead to irreversible damage.
Yeah, parents know their kids better than anyone else does, and they love their kids more than anyone else does. It's the parents that have this God-given responsibility to care for their kids. And the school officials in a child's life, they're there for maybe a school year. Parents are there for their whole lives. They know what their kids need, and they have a right to help their kids through these sorts of important decisions.
So, Vincent, what's next in this case?
This case is just getting started. We'll hear from the school district with their response in a few weeks and go from there. This case, though, is only one of many around the country. We filed one in December that I know you know about in Michigan.
Right.
It's a similar sort of situation. We won a case in Wisconsin last year that's a similar sort of situation. And these are cropping up all over the country. So it's what's next in this case. It's just getting started, but there's a longer road ahead for cases around the country.
Well, Vincent,
too.
it's my hope that not only does this mother get justice, but I hope that, and I'm so grateful for Alliance Defending Freedom and the great work that you guys do, but I really want to punish these entities that are doing this, because this is so deceptive, intentionally deceptive, dangerous, and destructive to our children, and it has to stop.
Well, it's important that parents be bold and be willing to speak out. And we've tried to provide some resources for parents to do that. If you go to our website, we've got parents' guides on various topics, including critical theory, parents' guides on navigating gender ideology in schools. And we want to equip parents to know their rights and know that the Constitution's on their side on this.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Vincent, thanks so much for joining us today. And again, our hats off to our friends at Alliance Defending Freedom for out there fighting for parents.
Thanks so much, Tony.